Welcome to a new episode of 3 or 4 Wifey. Today, covering the e-girl of the hour, Breckie Hill. Is she worth committing to? She's hot, but are you going to actually commit to this chick? We're going to find out right now. Starting off with debatably the most important stat. The girl was born April 18th of 2003. That is a great age. She's a month older than I am. 20 years old, young, and Aries if you care about that. If you care about that, by the way, click off the video. By the way, she was born in Edina, Minnesota. If you've never heard of that town, I haven't either. That's a good sign. So she's like a really exurban, suburban white chick. Let's see how that factors into her personality. Or is she a through and through SoCal, brainwashed little valley girl? We're going to check. We're working with an Instagram of approximately 1.5 million followers, 136 posts. We are going to see exactly what sort of quality we're working with. So as a little girl, right, like 12 years old, probably, Adina, again, so probably a middle school cheerleader or whatever it is. Again, perfectly innocent here. I only show this to kind of get exactly like, okay, did things go wrong here or was she actually raised correct? Right now, it's looking pretty good. We go up in age a little bit. She's probably like 15 here. Again, nothing wrong with what she's presenting. We move on to another example. Again, perfectly innocent, perfectly cute sort of thing. It's not horrible at all, okay? So again, decent, beautiful sort of images, something that a girl in high school is okay doing. She goes to Paris. How does she afford this? We don't know, but I mean, okay, cool. Nice shoes, nice little outfit. We like this. You got the Dior in the background, okay? Even this sort of picture, all right, we got it, cool. First evidence of a problem here. You have the caption of Cabo, I believe. Now she has even a nickname for Cabo, which means that she's been there multiple times, most likely, or she's just projecting that she has. That's bad because this was like 3 years ago, so she was like 17. As you can see, there's a huge rack to be looking at, and they're not ribs, they're going to be boobs. In this case, you got to say, like, presenting them already, I think she's already getting it, like, she already got enough male attention. The male gaze is already dictating the way that she dresses. Not the best, but again, she's 17, so, I mean, that's at that age, right? Now, what is the juxtaposition here is so profound. You go from a little scandalous sort of like big flesh, whatever, and then we're going to trad white girl in the Minnesotan, forest or whatever. And it's like, okay, beautiful, but it's also like how much of a facetious, like what sort of a facade we're looking at here with these grad pics, okay? Interesting. As you can see here, we've got her, Breckie, right, with her mother. Now, the mother, no tits, again, decent looking, but she's like in her 50s, skinny, that's a good sign. No ass, though. So, again, a lot of these white chicks, flat, right, in the back. But at the same time, we're also looking at somebody who is at least not obese. So, again, genetics-wise, not the worst for Breckie. We don't know where she got the hips and the boobs from. We got to figure this out. This is around the time that she's probably like 18. Again, the outfit is scandalous as all hell. I've never seen a bra like this or whatever have you, a bathing suit like that. Outside of certain contexts, it's like, what the hell? Would I let my teenage daughter walk around like this, 17, 18 years old? Of course not. Where is Breckie's father in this case? Horrible sort of look. Again, very sexy, you could say, but like definitely not something you would endorse for a teenager. Frankly, even if she is 18, I would not be cool with that personally, but okay. Now, this is a fascinating little piece here to analyze. So on one hand, bikini pics are pretty much normal, right? Like they're not that scandalous for a teenage girl to upload. Now, in this case, she's wearing these pants, which are, I've seen girls do this before, college girls, spring break, right? They'll wear these things above the bikini so that it's a little less naked, which I guess serves as a sort of like protection, but it's also kind of sexy too, at least like the way that it presents. So I don't know what to think. Now, this is a cute presentation. And so if my daughter were to be posting with this versus just the ass hanging out, then I'd prefer this little bit of a napkin cover. But then again, we don't know. Now, there's something absolutely adorable in her posture right here. Miami, I love you. Now, again, not a good sign. Hot girl going to Miami, newly 18, probably not a good thing for any future boyfriend. But seems kind of cute though, like this whole kind of like shoulders intimated like this with a little bag. You can tell her mom helped coordinate the outfit. It's gorgeous. I love it. Now, this is a horrible sign right here. We heart Thursdays as of 2 years ago. Now, the problem with this is that you have a girl scantily clad. You see this, you go to University Boulevard, any sort of these places. These girls huddled up in posses, right? Which I guess makes sense. You don't want to get gang raped or something. But okay, fine. So then they go, safety in numbers, they say. But the problem is that you also have problems at numbers, right? Large numbers of girls will do a bunch of scandalous shit that's degenerate. Nothing too crazy, but I mean, we're talking about getting ran through and stuff like this. This sort of aesthetic, not going to help you towards getting a trad wife. I tell you what. So it's a troubling prospect for these uploads to be on our Instagram, but we're going to get to the real sauce soon. And here, folks, you can see the beginning of the end. There was a little bit of foreshadowing 30 seconds ago with the whole I love you Miami post. But not even 8 weeks later, we got another 305 post. And it's horrible 304 territory. We're heading straight towards that highway. It's looking bad. I mean, you got the slutty Halloween outfits, girls. Jeez, okay, so if you've ever been around sorority girls, you know exactly what fucking time it is here. Not going to be so good for wife prospects, I'm not going to lie. So already ass arched, at least the friend is this little brown girl brunette on the right, okay? We see what's going on and we smack, we're kidding. But at the same time, it's like, come on, with the mini skirt, the high socks, it is a mess, all right? Hot, but also not something that I can even endorse. So yeah, and we've got multiple pictures of these. You know, in the dorm, just a mess, folks. It's grimy. It's absolute grouch status over here. This sort of outfit, again, huge breast. But at the same time, folks, get it together. What sort of decent girl would ever wear this outfit? Let's be completely honest. Can I picture my wife ever doing this? No, sir. So it is a mess, okay? Now, even some of these more innocuous pictures going forward are still somewhat of a problem. Who is this guy grabbing my girl? It's wrong. I feel viscerally disgusted. Now, this picture, again, cute. Frizzy hair, it's fucked up. You got her cute, her little purse. But you can see how, in context to all these other pictures, you can see how the innocence that is portrayed here is somewhat of a fallacy. It's a double fantasy, as quoted by The Weeknd on the soundtrack of The Idol, okay? Double fantasy. You don't want to live that. She looks like a completely different person right here. If you look, okay, we got like a cowgirl with cleavage. Again, not conservative when you really look at it. But I mean, you can see how there's a little bit of a facade of not being a skank. And you know what? We can somewhat appreciate that. If you want to buy into the lie, you know, if you're creeping, don't let me know. She's in Cancun, Mexico. Not a good sign for mileage, so to speak. Okay, the car is going to be well ran through at this point. It's going to be, the transmission is going to need help, okay? Now, these sort of things, she's advertising nails, perfectly innocuous sort of picture, of course. But again, she's being paid to not show skin necessarily. It's all about the nails in this case, which mine aren't something to brag about. These are kind of botched because, you know, real men don't care about their nails. But okay, we've got her advertising a bikini, I believe, again. So there's a reason why she'd be wearing the melons out. But I mean, you can just kind of see, okay, there's just a lot to be working with. But anyway, this. Now, her bedroom is immaculate, but this is horrible. This is disgusting, okay? This picture right here is okay, right? Decent bedroom, super high ceilings, rich family. We like that sort of detail. But then, poor little white girl on her knees. She says, how's the view? What the hell am I supposed to read in this? And I don't have to be a porn addict to understand what the fuck this is supposed to be, right? Money shot, I'm looking down. I'm not even that tall. I'm looking here, and I'm already looking at little McKenna, or what's her name, Breckie, just on her knees for me. And it's like, okay, I want to see you this, like in this angle, but I don't want to have a picture of that on the internet. And this is exactly what she's doing. All of her simps, the 36,500 likes of people over here talking about like, oh, I love the view. Dude, come on. That is disgusting behavior. So right here, beautiful sort of picture. Hey, she says. Now, what's kind of cute about this is, of course, the cleavage, the rings, which have no meaning, of course, in this society when you're in this context. But the hair, the sort of coloration, it's all good. Even the clean shower in the background, the hollowness of this said shower, very cool to me personally. But then you kind of see a pattern with these girls, okay? This horrible caption from a year ago that says, did somebody call the nurse? No, I called for a big titty bitch. And she's right there. Anyway, so she looks a little bit dead in the eyes. And if you remember her high school pics, she actually looked alive back then, you know? Now, that might be kind of creepy for me to say, but I think I'm on to something, you know? Prior to these Miami trips, the Cabo trips, she looked like a human being. Now, here, there's a dejected sense of like, okay, my tits are out, okay, money incoming. She has an OnlyFans, by the way. So, I mean, it all makes sense in the proper context. Now, this is another girl I like, right? Rachel Brockman, who's like a TikTok girl. No talent aside from like what her mouth do, you know. But at least she has a little bit of a charisma, you know. She'll flash the teeth out. She knows exactly what the hell she's doing. Sharp jawline, distinct white teeth. She knows exactly what the appeal is. Breckie, on the other hand, has the tits out, kind of resonated, you know, whatever. Very basic sort of posture, not the best. Not as talented as Rachel, who's like a little bit younger. But I mean, the tits are absolutely huge, by the way. Like an alligator would have a hard time biting through these. It's crazy. But even this picture, I mean, is she really even trying? Like, she knows she's hot. But I mean, even like the sort of like Rachel, I feel like she's looking at me in this picture. And she's like probably drunk, right? But she's still at least making the effort of like. Whereas with this other chick, the blonde one, Breckie's like, okay, I'm hot. It's like, okay, we get it, but like, can you make me feel viscerally alive? Even the picture where she says, how's the view? Cum shot. Even in that one, she's still a little bit more alive. But this, not good. This picture, again, great body, great torso, hourglass figure, relatively speaking, for such a white chick. Big tits, skinny arms, weak shoulders. We like it. But, you look at her face, and it's just a little bit fudged up. There's something wrong here. I mean, just pay close attention to her face, folks, and you'll notice right away that there's something uncomfortable with this picture. Something that is not human, that she's under duress. She's not really living for this sort of content, and it's a little bit off-putting when the girl isn't fully into it, in my opinion. So I guess you gotta really pick up on these little subtle clues where, of course, she doesn't look that comfortable, and again, that creeps me out. Even here, she has the right idea, okay? Cute, you know, one-piece sort of Christmas outfit with the pigtails. Kind of, not really to say that it's like a kid appeal, but there's a sort of coziness in the way that she's out there on the staircase with the carpet. Again, very Christmassy, very cute. Now, the problem is belied by the facial posture. What the fuck am I looking at? What sort of facial feature am I looking at here? I don't even know. What is the resting face she has going on? We don't know what it is. Second picture, same problem. Again, she's hot. Big boobs, I get it. But her face, what is exactly the problem? It's not like she's ugly, but I mean, it seems like she doesn't know what sort of expression she's going for. I don't know if that's a lack of charisma. She's dead inside, maybe. Maybe she's a tad bit ugly. We don't know. Here, she probably took this picture like 200 times, right? Because not only did she have her ass perky and soft, which is, again, supple and fantastic, but she has to get the face angle perfectly correct while not looking at the iPhone while she's taking the pic. So you got to give her a little bit of credit on that, but it's a very vain sort of thing to do, eh? But, okay, cool picture. I'll give her credit, but again, slutty as fuck in a subtle way. Again, here, amazing picture. Again, very much like I'm sold. Like physically speaking, okay. I'm shorting everything. I'm giving everything. I'm broke. It's over. Breckie bros, we're back. But you go to this next picture, and here's the problem. What is up with her face? Like, you know what I mean? Like, doesn't she look like she doesn't want to be here? Like, don't you feel a little bit like if you were to sleep with this chick, you'd feel a little bit bad. Like, okay, does she know what she's doing? Not like she's underage. She doesn't know what she's doing. I'm saying like, she's just awkward, you know? I don't know if it's like a sort of like autism strain that I can really pick up on and I can kind of read, but like just her face looks a little bit uncomfortable. She's not really a performer, so to speak. She's just a hot girl. Again, another example, awkward. I don't know what to think here. This one is perfect. This is where she actually gets her face right. Here, she actually gets her face right. I like this one. Perfect. Okay, beautiful. Again, cleavage working, symmetry, clear glasses, not the dorky kind, but just kind of like a little bit wholesome, so to speak. Very subtle too. I love it. This is definitely wifey quality right here. Not gonna lie. Now this other picture, trying way too hard. You know this is not a candid. Again, candids mean a lot to me. This just does not work, okay? This one, again, her face looks a lot better here. Yeah, she got her face right. Now this is just absolutely insane. Again, like, okay, we're cooking now. We're back. This picture, okay, this is very appealing. She even looks a little bit more comfortable here. She's more comfortable in her own skin. So again, decent. You know, if you're going to be a whore, you might as well be good at it. This, okay, fine. This I find to be in poor taste, okay? The mouth movement, don't like. This sort of thing, way too obvious with the arch babe. This one, again, way too obvious with the glasses, okay? All you had to do was put them like over here, and then I wouldn't have had to overthink it or whatever, okay? I wouldn't have had this mental cornucopia of seethe. But then again, she just triggered that out of me. Now, this ass is bowdacious, okay? Trying to show faces. This shit is huge. But again, very slutty. But okay. Okay, her eyes are a little bit better here, okay? Her lips are a little bit chapped, but okay. Now this one, just a very unnatural picture. She looks old here. I don't know what she's thinking. This one is cute. Again, very high effort. I don't like that. But, she's starting to get the kind of facial symmetry a little bit more correct. This one I like because it looks candid. Beautiful, like not as much makeup as like it seems. Beautiful lips, like amazingly, like these are fantastic right here. Good forehead. I like this. It seems very autistic the way I read this, but again, perfect. This well, and actually, I like this a lot too. But again, these are very hoish pictures. Now this one, death nail, disgusting. Again, her caption for the Super Bowl picture is Eagles or Chiefs. Like, what does this have to do with football? Now, again, super, super sexy. But then again, not wifey at all. Okay, I'm sorry. But okay. Okay, caption is, anybody hungry? She sat over here. She looks short. Here, frankly, this is just a little gross. Just in poor taste. As you guys can see here, after going over the first couple dozen pictures, it doesn't get any better, okay? Just a bunch of hoedom. And again, great looking girl, but I mean, this is not wifey quality. And again, I have to emphasize this. These, like, the milkers are like peak, the best. But is this wifey quality, folks? This is where the fine line has to be drawn. All we need to see here is the headline. Breckie Hill claims that she's making $500,000 per month on OnlyFans, which would net her about $6 million a year, okay? If we know anything about $6 million, that's too damn high of a number to be making with these guys jerking it to your potential wife. $6 million, folks. That's like hundreds of thousands of guys a month. To your girl. Fucking nasty. Keep in mind right here, that the average girl, mind you, your girlfriend, let's say she's good looking, she's got like a couple thousand followers on Instagram, there is probably a couple hundred guys that have like jerked it to your girlfriend in the last couple months, to be completely honest. But if your girl's on OnlyFans, that means like the average guy could go to a Walmart and there's some other guy that has looked at your girl in that particular light completely butt-ass naked, which is just an emasculating thought. Whereas at least like in normal life, sure, can somebody do it to your wife? Yeah, but he's imagining, which is a different thing, okay? Imagining versus like knowing what it looks like, different, like, come on. So, once you've seen the girl nude, the entire scheme changes in a way that is like perverted and nasty, which in most cases is not good if you're a guy trying to get a wife, which is why, first of all, with the deal breaker that is the OnlyFans, at that point, you gotta be like, okay, this bitch has gotta be perfect. And there are some good signs for Breckie Hill, right? So for instance, from a small town, I would assume, from Minnesota, very cold, seems like those puppies never got unleashed too much growing up because, again, she was raised to be like this cheerleader, pretty girl, but not anything bodacious and crazy. But then she goes to Cabo, she goes to Cancun, she goes to Miami as a 17, 18-year-old sorority girl behavior, dresses as a slutty nurse. You can already see the fucking train derailing. Like as of 2 years ago even. And so at that point, it's like, okay, babe, this is going to be a problem. And so Breckie, 3 or 4 wifey status, I got to give you a 3 or 4 because it's not only the fact that you are posting this on the social media, but then you got the OnlyFans. And then even if you look at the personality, which we're not going to look at any YouTube videos because this video is long enough and you can watch me. The point is that with Breckie Hill, she evidently doesn't have to have too much of a personality, for one, from what I've seen from live streams. Secondly, she seems to be one of these girls that are just arm candy. She'll go on an Elk podcast with like 4 other chicks because they're hot, but like not because she's going to say anything that interesting. And then again, it seems like she's just a valley girl. Basically, you look at her, they all act the same. They look a little different. The boobs are bigger. But you know what? Okay, I mean, that's about it. Now, with respect to her character, a lot can be said with the way that she came off in her early pictures. with pretty girls that are, let's say, 20, when you look at pictures from them when they're like 13, they're good looking for their age, obviously, but they're also innocent. They have something to look forward to. You can kind of see an earnest sort of sense of like, okay, there's a future. Whereas with Breckie Hill, I sense a sense of like, damn, there's gonna be some fucking loser jerking off to me with this picture, and it's like something that eats at her it makes a psychosis, right? It eats at her brains like a zombie because it's like so appalling. When you think of the average person that is pleasuring themselves to you, Breckie, it is gonna be some fucking fat loser in a basement, and she understands that, which is why it's so off-putting to her. So when you see her look dead in these pictures, it's because she's already died a spiritual death that is hard to replace. That hole in your soul for God. It looks tough, folks. Anyway, we don't know what the state of her soul is, but we do know is that the state of her 3 or 4 wifey status is concrete as a 3 or 4. That is the video. See y'all. Adios.